Close to the shores of Africa, a necklace of small green islands floating in warm seas. They're called the Canary Islands, and they're one of the world's favorite tourist destinations. On March the 27th, 1977, two giant aircraft are heading there. The 650 passengers think they're on their way to paradise. They're on the road to hell.
We're going.
Adam 1736, report runway clear.
Okay, we'll report when we're clear.
To clear then?
What do you say?
It's to clear the Pan Am.
Oh, yes.
There he is. God damn, that son of a bitch is coming straight at us!
Words cannot adequately describe the horror. 583 people died, the worst air disaster in history. It was all over in seconds. For the handful that lived, they would be the longest and most terrible seconds in their lives.
At first, I thought they had gotten to us the bomb.
The only thing I could liken it to is if each molecule of air exploded.
I looked in the cabin and everything was on fire.
I thought, oh my God, we're trapped.
We had 28 people in the upstairs lounge. The lounge was no longer on the airplane.
Joan was standing there yelling, "Suzanne, take my hand."
The engines were starting to disintegrate.
I lost Joan's hand very quickly.
I had put my hands over my face and said, "Lord, today I'll see you."
It was a survival mode that kicked in, and it was just get out of that airplane.
I said, I will jump and try and break your fall.
The airplane was collapsing in on people.
I immediately thought it was total destruction.
Well, I felt so responsible because I couldn't take care of my passengers, and so helpless in looking back and knowing that there's nothing you can do. You can't get back in the aircraft. There's no way to get in it, and it's all on fire.
Firemen are there for 12 hours trying to put out the flames, but it's a hopeless task. As the news spreads around the world, everyone wants to know, how could two state-of-the-art aircraft possibly be on the same runway at the same time? All those people dead. What had gone wrong? Who was to blame? Only later would they discover the chain of coincidences, mistakes, and misunderstandings that had led to the biggest disaster in the history of aviation. The story begins at midday on the 27th of March. Pan Am Flight 1736 is nearing the Canary Islands. This has been a long, long flight. The plane left Los Angeles via New York the afternoon before. Now the passengers are tired, looking forward to journey's end in the Canaries' capital, Las Palmas.
So, you guys been to the Canaries before? You guys ever visited the Canary Islands?
Yep. I had a great time there. Golden beaches.
Oh.
Grilled fish. Midnight swims.
I could do with that.
But this is the first time I've been routed this way.
Me too.
It's gone quickly. Yeah.
And this particular flight was one of the first ones that was what we named a fly cruise trip. Most of the passengers were retirees. Their destination was Las Palmas. Then they would board a cruise ship and do a 10-day cruise, and then come back, and then they would be picked up again and flown back to the United States.
What no one has told the passengers is the Canary Islands have their own local brand of terrorists. They're determined to get independence from Spain, which actually owns the Canary Islands.
What everyone has to understand is that the Canary Islands are at war. As long as the islands are a colony, they will be at war with Spain. If the Spanish government doesn't agree to our three conditions, we'll launch full armed combat and we'll fight to the very end.
Continuerons la lutte jusqu'à la fin.
Six hours out of New York? I could do it again.
Doesn't time fly when you're having fun?
On board the Pan Am plane are 380 passengers, with 11 flight attendants to look after them.
I was on the flight with my best friend, Suzanne Donovan, and we used to bid flights together, and we could do that. And we would, because we enjoyed each other's company so much.
Hey, Susie, save some of that energy for Paris.
Oh, oui.
We were just going to go to Las Palmas and drop off the passengers and ferry the aircraft, which means flying it without any passengers, up to Paris and then stay in Paris.
Few disasters are ever caused by a single event. It takes a chain of tiny coincidences. And so it was that day. Everything is going fine. But at that moment, the terrorists decide to act. And as luck would have it, they choose Gando, the airport for Las Palmas, where the Pan Am plane is due to arrive shortly. Just ahead of the Pan Am is another jumbo jet from the Dutch airline KLM. It too is heading for Gando Airport with 234 Dutch holidaymakers. The captain of the Dutch plane is Jacob van Zanten. He's KLM's star pilot. It's his face that appears in adverts all over the world. Van Zanten is so senior, he hardly flies anymore. When he's not in the photo studio, he's in a simulator training young pilots, like the man in the next seat, Klaas Meurs. He'd personally given Meurs his license, something which Meurs is not likely to forget.
You're just now looking at the arrival information for Gando?
Yeah, I'll program in the alternates as well. We can do the briefing anytime.
For future reference, I don't like to leave it this late in the flight, okay?
I was just rechecking the procedures.
No times to worry about here.
Good. Thank you.
The Dutch passengers are looking forward to journey's end too, but not all of them are going on holiday. 3 are young tour guides who actually live in the Canaries. They've been back to Holland for a seminar and are now returning to their work.
Isn't that true? Back in Holland.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to be getting back to sunny Tenerife. I mean, how many people can say they have banana trees in their back garden?
Yeah, well, a week was just good enough for me. I don't know why they sent us back to Holland for those seminars. I mean, really, it's not as if we learn anything. We're not going to suddenly sell more package deals.
Hey, we got a free trip home to see our families. I'm not complaining.
Well, why don't we celebrate our return to this sweet life and paint Las Palmas town red tonight?
Yeah.
You both up for it?
3 of us went to Holland for a week. It was a kind of holiday and work. I lived in Puerto de la Cruz. That's a small village in northwest of Tenerife. Yvonne was traveling with me. Walter was traveling with us. And it was nice to see your colleagues every year. It was a very nice atmosphere on board and a very relaxed atmosphere.
There are many families on the plane taking an Easter vacation break. Among them, 53 children.
There are 2 bombs in the terminal. You have 10 minutes to save as many lives as you wish. We'll talk again.
And so it begins, the first step on the road to disaster. On the Pan Am plane, they know nothing of this. All is relaxed as the flight nears its end.
You have control.
Gando's already dialed in there.
Yeah. Crew, Gando, Las Palmas Airport in 45
minutes.